Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And today, just like with the Space Yuki showcase, we have a unit who got an EX upgrade and a skill fusion. However, this Hinata already was EX, so she became EX Unbound. What does that mean for us? Well, it means we got access to the 6th ability board, because she's level 120. And so we have an extra 10% on the alt. So each of these ones is 2.5%. So now if we look at her alt, it is a 520% normal alt damage. And then EX is 1.5 times that. So that didn't really give her that much power. An extra 10%, not really breaking the bank. What is going to break the bank is her skill fusion, which currently she gives Fount of Wisdom and Seizu's Will 60% attack, and then a personal alt buff for 40%. But with the fusion, that 40% jumps up to 150%. So 60, 40, and now it's actually 70 and 150. And that's a lot of power. Maybe not from this 10%. It's fun and everything, but an extra 110% alt damage buff on top of the 10% she got from now being an EX Unbound. That's a lot of power. So, let's find out exactly how much power that gives this Hinata, who we honestly don't really use that much anymore. So, we're going to do the video, and then she's probably going to sit in the box again, but hey, she got a double upgrade, so we're going to show off the double upgrade. Alright, so we're going to run this team in the Fount of Wisdom Chamber of Memories versus Yamza. You're meant to use Fount of Wisdom characters here. It means we don't have access to, a lot of our good supports, but we got to do what you got to do. And we're going to do this prior to her skill fusion, so we have not fused her just yet. I want to see how much damage we can get off of this first skill, as she exists now. And then do it again, but with the extra 110% and the 10% attack buff. But Diablo, stacking alt resistance down, Blanc for the weakness strike, the synergy down, Diablo for the synergy up, and then orb change, buff, buff, buff. This should all work fairly well, and we should see some good numbers. Also, Hinata's weapon is not enchanted at all, so we don't have any extra pierce power or anything coming off of that. This is just going to be her and the raw stats of the team. Okay, so here we are. Because we are now an EX Unbound character, we are in the EX Unbound state, which is why her icon is glowing, why she has a different aura. And so now she's got the extra 1.3% damage between turns 6 and 8. So we have how much weakness resistance or alt resistance? 135, that's about to be 150% with this final stack. We have just enough points to use all of the buffs on this team, which are quite considerable. So we've got the attack and alt, we've got the weakness and synergy down, we've got the pierce and pierce resistance down, and then we'll bring in Rimuru and Diablo from the back, and we'll get the physical and physical down, and then the synergy power. So Diablo hasn't really done much, and to be honest, Hinata, besides being a primary orb changer, she's also not doing that much right now. But we have 10 points left over, a lot of power here. So if we look at her, she's got 40% alt damage, and then on her actual person, we've got 6% trait, 60% attack right there, 100% weakness, guaranteed pierce, guaranteed synergy, synergy power, physical attack, and Yamza has 150% alt resistance down, 50 synergy down, 50 pierce down, and 20 physical down. So we should be doing a lot of damage. And she has one of the better looking alts just because it's so very unique. Let's send... Will he survive one orb? I don't think we're doing 1,000,000 on one orb, so let's just send those. And if we do, I'll be quite sad. Alright. We do 333. Okay. Good number. But her ult has like one of the best ending animations to it, because it's just, you're looking up at her, she stabs you to death. Like, oh, open my eyes, oh, and then blah, and then your vision goes red. But 8 million damage that we just did? 8 million? I think so. That's a lot of power. That's good damage right there. As long as it was actually 8 million. Hold on. Alright, yeah. 8.6 million damage. That's pretty respectable for a character that was the very first EX unit that was a DPS. Like, she is from the Fount of Wisdom meta, the very first EX meta. She is the very first EX DPS character, and now we can have her do 8.6 million. But that's unskill fused. So now let's come back, and let's do the full run, and let's skill fuse her, and let's add another 10% attack and 110% ult damage onto that. Alright, so Omni Accords attack. We got a lot of these because I've been doing those, and plus we got them from I got them from the packs, right? The New Year's pack that gave me like 28 of them or something. So we've got plenty now, which is good because they're not easy to come by, and we're gonna spend a lot of them today. So skill fused, success, boom. And now we gotta level it up again, and now I'll bring you back later for the actual beginning of the real run. Alright, so some history lessons about the Fount of Wisdom team when it came out in March of 2023 is that ult swapping, so changing Soul of Combos to a different color orb to continue your 6 sends, that didn't exist. It didn't exist for another month and a half or something. So we did not have access to units like Blanc, or Ogre's Pride Shuna, or Idol Shuna, or Overlord Shizu. Like, none of those were in range. So our team builds looked a little bit different because they were based on, okay, old stacking teams, space, water. The Dark 1.0 team, Light 3.0 had come out just a little, 2 months prior to this, because we had Valentine's Day in between. Yeah, a lot has changed since the release of this team, and you know what? That's not a bad thing, because Diablo as a protector is quite old. We can watch his animation too. He's doing, ult resistance down is really strong, but the fact he's only stacking his skill point gain by 30 points every single time you use him, instead of 40 like other protectors, or even 50 like we have with new stacking protectors, like it really holds it back. And in order for us to even attempt this run with full power, we need to get perfect 6 hands of blues every single turn, and we need to take full advantage of what traits we do have access to in this. Okay, can you please stop countering me? We need to take full advantage of all the traits. So Albus trait, Hinata trait, Blanc trait. Alright, this is really good because it's easy orb changes. So that's really nice. So we'll just do this one. This is a lot cheaper than that first run, I'll let you know that right now. We'll bring you back in because it's going to be turn 4. And Albus has Dark Hinata from Protector Peace, so that's turn 2. Hinata herself has turn 2 protection. Blanc has turn 2 protection. This is going fantastically well. But Hinata, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, not a character you generally use that often now. One, because she was just heavily power crept out. She just was not pulling her weight as far as damage potential is concerned. But even then, there are not that many times that we need single target physical wind nukers. There might be an occasional Jubilee stage, but most of the time they're AoEs, and we don't need Hinata for that, because she's not an AoE character. So her usefulness has really been nerfed because of what teams have been like and what elements have been put in charge and just what the focus has been. It was a very, very good stacking team when it came out. It did the most damage anyone had ever seen. It's like when you saw Divine General pop up versus what maybe Ogre's Pride was doing. Because Ogre's Pride, when it came out, did a butt ton of damage. Like, Momiji was doing 30-something million on her AoE. But then we've got Divine General Raphael, who alone was doing like 180, 200 million damage on a single target ult. And then you put Blanc in there, it's another one. So that's the kind of power that we were exposed to with this team setup, and it's so much power is the thing. And now that we have much better support units available to us, it means that our damage numbers will continue to go up. Meanwhile, the actual DPS units, if their skills are not up to snuff, or the protector skills, if they're not up to snuff, means they really get left in the dust. And it really did hurt Hinata the most. Albus, you know, can still be useful as a support character and maybe a sub DPS. Rimuru has been the most long-standing of this entire meta, being a physical buffer in a lot of physical teams. Hinata, when do we talk about Hinata? We never talk about Hinata until I have to come into this fight and, you know, use Hinata. Other than that, have you ever used her? You know, answer me that question. Okay, we gotta take Albus out. You need to go away. We're gonna miss her. No, well, we're gonna miss her trade on turn 8. I don't think that's too big of a deal, though. We should still be in line. So let's alt swap. Boom. Let's get you out of here because you're gonna die. And then we can use Rimuru's convert. He is skill fused, so he could change any color, but we have oranges, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's the EX alt. There's the double stack. That's what we needed more than anything else. So that will allow us to get up to the 420 skill point cap. We are in the unbound state now because we are in turn 6, and she gets it between 6, 7, and 8. And that's a lot of... Okay, sure. Alt swap, orb change. Boom. 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 And we should have enough... Oh, that was actually kind of expensive. Do we have enough points to actually nuke next turn? Are we going to get back up to the 420? I think we should. We don't. Do we get at least 410? We don't. We get 403. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to do all this talking again, but I don't want to lose the unbound state because that goes away after turn 8. And we just don't have enough points. We are 2 points shy from using everything. So I guess we'll be back when I'm ready to nuke again. Okay, this actually took a number of runs. You pretty much have to boil it down to turn 7, only using 2 skills, so an alt swap and a single orb change. If you gotta use 3, you're out of luck, and you're gonna be at that 2 points shy every single time. But this should again be the 150% alt resistance down. Just check that really fast. Oh, it sure is. Okay, so now we got enough points, so buff. This is now 70% attack and 150% alt damage, and then we'll do literally everything else that this team has to offer. And we'll see how much higher that 8.6 something went. I assume it's going to be quite a bit more. The normal orb is only getting buffed by an extra 10%, so we did like 333 with it. I would only assume like maybe 350 now, but the alt is what we're really shooting for. So, you know, let's turn it back on. I like that alt so much, we're going to watch it again. Alright, so 1 orb, and then the alt. So we did 8.6 million. Are we going to do 10 million now? Is that too high of a jump? I'm gonna think we're gonna do 10 million, and then we'll judge based on that number. All right, 352. Okay, so yeah, I was about somewhere in the ballpark right there. I said 350. But the alt, this is where all the extra power is really coming from. 10% attack doesn't tickle my fancy, but 110% extra alt, that certainly is good. And we do 16 million. I guess if you're increasing it by 100%, and we did 8 million, then yeah, I guess 16 million is par for the course, huh? Because math. 16 million damage on a single target alt for an EX character that was one of the first EX characters. I mean, granted, we have a literal butt ton of support around her, but you know, Diablo is not a current mainstream usable protector. 16 million. That's something right there. I don't know how I'd make this team any stronger. Like I guess you could try and replace Albus with like the new Divine General Masked Hero. An extra turn of Rewind will maybe offset maybe having a bad turn because you don't have another Orb Changer. But the Alt Rush would mean that you could get ults faster, and then you could just use the Alt Swap from Blanc, and then you have 100% Pierce power. I mean, it's possible. I don't know if I really want to try it. I don't even think you can put the hero on this team, actually, in this fight, because of the stage restriction. Well, ooh, Shizu's will. You know, you might be able to. She is not there. Okay, well, ain't that something. Okay, well, it was a thought. We don't have access to the actual Fountain of Wisdom beatdown battle devs, so I can't try it out unrestricted. But, alright, let's see what else we can do with this Hinata. Alright, we're gonna force her onto a burst team. I don't know how well this is gonna go. This is Tempered Edge, so it's not a difficult stage, but, you know, she is physical, which means we can crit and synergy. So let's try and get some rainbow orbs for her, and then try and use some early buffs. I don't actually know. The Shinsha, we're not going to benefit off of the 80% alt buff, but we'll benefit off the crit damage. And technically, I could replace you with New Year's Millum, but she would have alt resistance down, which we're already technically getting from both Benimaru and Isis. And so we're just going to go with Shinsha. She costs a little bit more, so if it's not feasible, we'll just take her out and we'll bring the cheaper buff. But, you know, let's see if it works out first. Alright, let's do you in for Shinsha. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll try and get a lot of Rimuru orbs next turn. Or, I mean, we could have done the opposite way. But let's see how it works out. I mean, it's not terrible. It's also not great, because I can't really... Well, I guess I could change those, huh? Let's see. So Rainbow Convert, boom, and then, yeah, I guess I could do this instead. I could use Benimaru's Convert, boom, 30% gauge increase, it'll hit everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, so close. Shinsha does have an alt swap, though, so that actually does work out in our favor. So next turn we could hold on to it. And then we have, obviously, a double Shion right here to give us a full hand of oranges. I didn't even look if oranges are nerfed in this fight. I think greens are nerfed here, but not oranges. Alright, yep, thank you for that. Pierce resistance. Okay, physical resistance, and not a truly big deal, because we're going to pretty much overlook that. Shinsha in... And then we will alt swap away for free. And then use Shion. This will give us a full 6 hand of oranges. Guaranteed crit, guaranteed synergy. More importantly, it'll give us the EX alt. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we're going to have a lot of points to stockpile. So we can hold on to both the Shinsha buff and the Benimaru buff, because both of the other effects off those skills are going to be covered somewhere else. As long as nobody dies and we get enough points back. Okay, no, we're fine. So 196, perfect. So we will physical buff. We will crit damage 40%, boom. And then we'll take you out. Yeah, we'll take you out. Wait, I guess we could use the Drago effect as well. Oh, it's only on magic enemies, or magic allies. Never mind, we won't use that then. So we'll just get you out of here too. So boom, and boom. We can alt swap again for 20 points. Oh, the oranges are nerfed now. How much? 75% is quite hefty. Ooh, are we gonna... We're gonna get 30 back next turn, but that's about it. And I need 80. I need 130 to nuke. Ooh, ow, 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 ow. Okay, thank you. All right, yep, thank you for that. I need 2 more points. I need to get a protector. Okay, there we go. Doesn't really matter because we're not gonna get any more points after this turn. As long as we can survive this turn, we'll be okay, because we're gonna have, I think, yeah, just barely enough. 80 plus 50, so that's 130. Yeah, we don't need to use that, so, yep. Please live, everybody, so I can see this power. 6 turns isn't... Oh, that's unfortunate. Ooh, okay, she lived. Perfect. Okay, okay, and then this AoE. Okay. Oh. Ooh. Nice. Okay. Just barely by the skin of our teeth. So, let's do the alt resistance down. Isis, not really the best unit for this team, quite honestly, but 120 alt down is nothing to scoff at, especially when we have 120 alt up. So, you can come out for Isis, I guess. And then we'll just use her skill. So, attack buff and alt 150%. 150%. And then guaranteed crit, guaranteed synergy. 6 turns again. Not ideal for burst teams because they're limited to normally like a 5-turn fight, but this should still be more than enough power to kill. So let's do 1, and then let's see if we can kill Geld with that, and if not, we'll just have some follow-up. This should be good. And we do... Now we'll have 1 million, right? Yeah, 1 million? That wasn't 10 million. No, that wasn't 10 million. We did 1 million damage there. I think. I think. Regardless, we did it. The single orb didn't actually kill Geld, but the Shinsha ult did. Okay, yeah, we did 1 million. Crit synergy, weak point, not super weak point, but so we weren't maximizing our total damage. But this team isn't really maximized, quote unquote, right? So, Hinata, with the EX Unbound upgrade and the ability board and the extra skill fusion. More so the skill fusion. If she had remained just a normal EX character, like her damage would have fallen off like a tiny bit, but we didn't really gain like an overwhelming amount of power from her Unbound upgrade. We got an overwhelming amount of power off of an extra 110% alt buff, which is, again, really good for her. So maybe she will be viable in some win single target events, even though she's so very old. You can build teams around her that can do reasonable amounts of damage, but you gotta remember that, you know, Exalted Champion Millam's single target, she's doing easily that damage plus. So, Hinata, I think, is a very old character who got a very needed upgrade, and I think it's very good. It's just that how good is it going to be in relation to the metas of now 2025? That I can't tell you. I guess we'll see, you know, in the future. But let me know what you guys think of this EX Unbound skill fused Hinata. Are you happy with her skill fusion? Are you not? Let me know in the comments. But that's it from me. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.